Hello, my name is Thomas Mechanical. I have the privilege on being on a part of Miss Lovejoy's team almost 5 months now, and I can say it's been a blessing over and over and over, and it's definitely changed me in a lot of ways. And learning from Wendy, I was supposed to ask other questions, but I don't. She does so much training that there's not a question that I have to ask. You know, every question is answered. You know, she spends a lot of time making sure people know how to run a business or, you know, the different aspects. But I do have a question that just came to mind.
Way to go.
What would be, because of my generation, because I'm only 22, what would be a good way to grow my business using Facebook and Twitter and things of that nature?
That's a great question. That's one of the chapters in this book, social media. Everybody understands that social media is like the big thing right now. And about a year ago, I wasn't really into it, but I literally spend a lot of time right now building my friends on Facebook, getting people to follow me on Twitter, getting people LinkedIn, all this social media. You want to build a presence on it. And what I would encourage you not to do, a lot of young people don't realize this, but the good and bad about social media is that you're putting your life out there. So if you put pictures that maybe you and your home guys hanging out, and you know, you might dress with your pants hanging down, or you might like the earring, you know, any of that kind of stuff, don't put those pictures out there, because you're owning a home-based business. And even though it's a home-based business, this is a business that is worldwide. It's in the Inc. 500 as one of the top businesses to own. And what you don't want to do is to now kind of market yourself out there as like a young kid, like, you know, that gang or that these are my homeboys type of on Facebook. Because you also now have to look at trying to get business people to do business with you. And they can look back and see your older posts, and you may not like the picture. So even if you're hanging out and you're dancing all night, try not to put those kind of pictures out. I would really encourage you to kind of look at how you want to be branded. And one thing that I admired about you, Anthony Thomas Mechanical, is that when I first met you, you were very coachable. I remember the first meeting you had. I ran into you at Walmart. Now, we live not too far from each other. I usually don't run into anybody at Walmart, but I ran into you, and you were literally looking to get some chairs just to have your meeting because you had just moved into your apartment. And I said, wow, this guy's really committed. And I told you, don't worry to invest in the chairs, because if people need to come and sit on the floor, let them. That's how your guys hang out with you. And you did the presentation and you've grown, but you're marketing yourself as a young businessman. You always look very professional. You always speak very well. You're extremely coachable. And all of these things, and like you said, you've received a lot of training. All of these things are coming across. They're coming across on Facebook. So even the kind of things I see you tagging me to are very important. You want to pay close attention to everything you do now. And I would really ask myself, if I were trying to sign up the President of the United States, what kind of image would I be putting out there for him? Does that make any sense?
Yes, it does.
Did it answer your question?
Yeah. Actually, if you don't mind, I have another question.
Not at all.
How about as far as, because I'm building a business, this type of business, and how good Facebook works with this type of business, how does it affect me as far as the friends that I get? Because I know one thing about people, if they don't see me, they see the people that I'm connected to. So what about that?
Well, what I do is I don't limit my friends on Facebook. Anybody that requests me as a friend, I just say yes. Now, I've had one incident where I turned on my Facebook page. And of course, I'm still new with Facebook, so I turned on and looked at my Facebook page, and somebody had put a naked picture on Facebook and tagged me to it. So the first thing I did is I called the person who's better at that on my team, and her name is Joanne, and I asked her to delete it. You can delete the things you don't want seen. Your friends, because Facebook, you can have 2,000 friends. Some of the people you don't know. So they don't really mean that they're your friends, like intimate friends. You can choose to spotlight the professional people. And what's going to happen is as you grow your brand and really focus on who you want the public to see you as, the people that don't like what you're doing, they'll fall off. You won't see them as much. And as I said, you can delete them. Your whole goal, though, is you want to connect with everybody, as many people as possible. You don't want to limit people. You don't want to judge people, because sometimes people come looking a certain way. Like one of my sons, he's got tattoos all over himself, but he's one of the smartest businessmen I know. And when he's on Facebook, you'll even see an earring in his ear. But when I talk to him, the generation that he's targeting, they like that. That's what draws them in. But when he does a meeting, he's very professional. Again, your whole goal is to make sure that you just put a face out there that's very professional, because I don't see you with a very limited market. I think you can transcend. You can talk to very professional people. You can talk to college students, and then you have a good look about you. So I also encourage people, as they're building their brand on Facebook, make sure your pictures are professional. I spent a lot of money just at least once a year. You can use the same picture for the whole year, but you have to have a nice headshot, because, again, you'd be surprised. I have people in Nigeria that are close to the president or working with the president that look at that and then connect me to other people because they see the professionalism of what I'm putting out. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, hi, my name is David Uyobazi. I just want to ask Miss Wendy Lovejoy a quick question. Basically, when you start a business like this, it's kind of like you owning your own business, and you have to put a lot of things into consideration. So things you have to put in mind when it comes to taxes, when it comes to, trying to organize your income and, whatever you're spending. What's going to be your advice to people coming in,
I love that question. The reason being, as I said earlier, I write books on finances. My goal is to teach people simple, easy ways to do business, not to get very expanded. But when you first start with this business, because you don't pay your taxes, nobody's forcing you to pay your taxes. You should pay your taxes, but it's not like a job where they take the taxes out for you. So you now have to discipline yourself to pay your taxes. Because in this company, you can start making money very quickly. And sometimes people start making money before they learn the habits. I've seen a lot of people do that. So when people get started with me, I like to sit them down. And one of the easiest ways to just keep your accounting is to have a book, a simple dollar notebook. And every time you have a receipt, you can just tape it to a specific page, write some notes about it. I took people out to eat, or I paid for this meeting, or I bought these products. Write it down next to the sheet of paper and just build the book. I have a great accountant. So what I do is I just hand over my receipts with a logging of what I've done. And I think once you get that simple habit, a lot of people are used to spending their money and not keeping account of it. And one of the things I like to do, and I teach this more in Money Answers All, which is another book, is that just write down everything you spend for 2 weeks. Just write it down. Don't think about what you're spending. Keep your habits as you normally do, but write it down. And then 2 weeks later, go back and sit, and you'll see that some people waste a lot of money just getting to the ATM every single day. They get like $3 charges, $2 charges, and they're not even aware that if they know they're going to spend $50, $60 for the week buying lunch, they should take that $50, $60 out at one time. But every time you go to the ATM to just take enough to buy your lunch, you're incurring extra charges. So one thing I love about having a home-based business is that you have to learn to get disciplined in so many areas, including your accounting. So I think that's the simplest way to start. Just take all your receipts, save every single one of them. Even when you go get gas, if you fill up your tank 3 times in one day, don't ever not get the receipt. If you go through a toll, make sure you go through the part where you can get a receipt, because those 50 cents, that's $6. I know when I was going to New York, I spent a lot of money just on tolls, but I kept my receipts. I wrote down who it is that I was going there for and the date. So I think if you really practice doing that, it will help you a lot. So did that help you with the question?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
My name is Kurt. My question is, how do you encourage a person who's on the fence, thinking about it? Do I get in or do I not? Obviously, it's a good business from what I heard tonight. How do you help them to see that is something good to jump into right away?
Well, let's pretend that the person is you. I think one of my business partners said something very correct tonight, and she asked if you knew that Google was going to be what it is now, and about a few years ago when they brought Google out, you didn't even know what Google meant. Would you have bought it?
Probably not.
Exactly. But now knowing what Google is all about, would you buy it now?
You definitely wish you had jumped in.
Exactly. But the thing is, though, you couldn't have been sure back then. I think with business, most of the business people that do very well are people that are willing to take risks. And in this economy, it's the perfect time to risk it because it's such a small startup.
Thank you for tuning into Birthing a Business Coaching with Wendy Lovejoy. Ms. Lovejoy currently resides in the New York and Atlanta area and is on a journey to help others discover the leader within and to extract the successful entrepreneur located in each of us. She has taught several people in the Columbus, Georgia area to start their own business and to coach them to success. She has also been featured internationally in Spain, Italy, Nigeria, the Netherlands, and the West Indies. Wendy is the author of several books, including Money Answers All, from the Journals of Wendy Lovejoy, and Birthing a Business. She is presently working on a new book that is scheduled to be released in the latter part of this year. Ms. Lovejoy has also released numerous audio and video teachings, such as A Woman After God's Own Heart, Money for the Kingdom, and The Isaac Generation. For more information about Wendy Lovejoy and any of her products, visit her website, www.birthingabusinesscoaching.com. You may also contact her by email for coaching opportunities and business development at ownhomes03@yahoo.com. OWNHOMES03@yahoo.com. We hope that your life is forever changed. Thank you for tuning in.